I was very clear. I told you when you have a fraction like this, first deal with the numerator alone, then deal with the denominator, then divide later. Some of you did not listen to me and they failed. Hmm? So I begin by looking at the numerator. The numerator has 2 over 3 of 1 whole number and 3 out of 7 minus 5 out of 8, as you can see. Eh? There is a bracket. That means I should first deal with the bracket. I should first deal with the bracket. In the bracket, I have 1 whole number and 7 and 3 out of 7 minus 5 out of 8. Convert this to an improper fraction, it becomes 10 out of 7 minus 5 out of 8. I first deal with the bracket still, where the LCM is 56. There is someone who used 42. Sincerely, you thought this is 6. That's why I told you, don't rush. In mathematics, you don't rush. However simple something seems to be, if it needs a calculator, use a calculator. If it needs you to first draw a table to get the LCM, then do that. Don't rush. The LCM here was 56. 56 divided by 7, the answer is 8. 8 times 10, the answer is 80. 56 divided by 8, the answer is 7. 7 times 5, the answer is 35. And there it is. So 80 minus 35, the answer is 45 out of 56. Then we multiply it by 2 over 3. 3 by 5, 3 by 45, the answer is 15. Then 2 by 56, the answer is 28. So the numerator alone, after simplifying it, I get 15 out of 58. I now look at the denominator. The denominator, there is no bracket, but again we shall follow the order of BODMAS. By the way, that's why I get to think that some of you don't write the notes I give you. If you are that person who is just doing the assignment and you are too lazy to write notes, you will be doomed. The simple notes I give you are very important for you to keep revising and referring to. So, but when we look at this, bracket of, if we said of means multiplication, bracket of division. So we are going to first deal with division, which is this one here. And that's why I have decided to put it in bracket. So division, 1 times 7 is 7 plus 5 becomes 12 out of 7 times 7 out of 4. As you can see, when I'm dividing by 4 out of 7, I'll multiply by the reciprocal, and here it is. Then I will again multiply by this, which is 7 out of 3. This one here, 7 out of 3, as you can see. So all that means all this becomes multiplication. From here up to here, it becomes multiplication. Then BODMAS bracket of division multiplication. That means I should first do the multiplication, then I will add later. So the answer in all this is 7. When 12 cancels with 4, the answer you get 3. Then this 3 will cancel with this third, you get 1, 1. Then 7, you get 1 there. So 2 out of 4 plus 7, the answer, the LCM is 4. 4 divided by 4, the answer is 1 times 2, which is 2. Then 4 divided by 1, the answer is 4 times 7, it gives us 28. So we have 30 out of 4 as the value for the denominator. Then numerator, divide by denominator, this numerator which is 15 out of 28, divide by denominator which is 30 out of 4. When I divide, I multiply by the reciprocal, and I end up getting 1 out of 14. So is there any question on corrections before we proceed? Aisha?
Excuse me, teacher, on number C, that isn't the LCM of 6 and 2 supposed to be 6?
LCM of 6 and 2 here. Yes, it is
Yes.
supposed to be 6, but you still get the same answer.
Okay.
That's why I advise you use 6 and C, you will still get 2 out of 3. Now, there are some of you who cannot get the LCM. If you fail to get the LCM, the simplest method you can use is to multiply the denominators, because the answer you will get will be a multiple, and automatically it will divide 6, and it will also divide 12. Okay? Aisha, are you sorted?
Yes.
Yeah, you get the same answer. Any other question? No question. So let's move on. So today, I want us to look at some questions where we can apply fractions. Application of fractions. And without wasting time, I begin with an example. If 3 out of 5 of a school are boys, and there are 96 girls in the school, how many children are there all together? Don't know how many of you still remember how we do this work. They are telling us that 3 out of 5 of a school, this fraction of 3 out of 5, these ones are boys, but the number of girls are 96. What does that mean? This examiner has not given us the fraction of girls. You agree with me that this person is hiding the fraction of girls. But as bright students like you should be able to know that the total fraction is always 1. Originally, we always have 1. Then it means 1 out of the total number. Okay, it means 3 out of 5 out of the 1. These ones are boys. So the first thing we are going to do, if 3 out of 5 are boys, then we need to get the fraction of girls. We get the fraction of girls by getting the total, which is 1, and we subtract 3 out of 5. So 1 can also be made to be 1 out of 1, because 1 out of 1 is still 1. So when I make it 1 out of 1, I'm going to get 1 out of 1 minus 3 out of 5, which gives me the LCM of 1 and 5 is 5. Now 5 divided by 1, the answer is 5 times 1, it still remains 5. Then minus 5 divided by 5, the answer is 1 times 3, which is 3. So 5 minus 3, the answer is 2. So that means the fraction of girls is 2 out of 5. I think you agree with that totally. Now, this person has given us the number of girls. So we have the number of girls and we have the fraction of girls. What are we interested in now? We are interested in the total population of the school. We now want the total population of the school. How do we get the total population? First of all, we don't know it, so we can say, let the total population be y. Let the total number of children be y. That means if I get If I get 2 out of 5, which is the fraction for girls, and I multiply it by y, the answer I get is 96. The answer I get is 96, which is the number of girls. So I try to eliminate when of means multiplication. That means 2 times y out of 5 is 2y out of 5, which is equal to 96. What am I doing here? I'm trying to eliminate the fraction. So I multiply by 5 on the left, and I also multiply by 5 on the right. What I do on the left, I do it on the right. So this 5 will cancel, and I remain with 2y. With your calculator there, 96 times 5, confirm if it is 480. I think it should be the answer. So if it is 480, I will have to divide by 2 both sides. Divide by 2 both sides to get the value of y, and the value of y ends up being 240. Is there any question on this before I take you to another example? Where is Camila?
Teacher, I'm here.
Do you have a question?
No, teacher.
Everything is crystal clear?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at another example. How many pieces of string 2.5 centimeters can be cut from a length of 84 centimeters, and how much remains? So you have a string which is long, which is 84 centimeters long. Then from that string, you want to divide it into smaller portions of 2.5. So what do you have to do here? How many pieces of string 2.5 centimeters long can be cut from a length of 84 centimeters, and how much remains? So you ask yourself, do you have to add here? Do you have to subtract? Do you have to multiply? What do you have to do? You have a long string. Let's say it is this one. It is 84 centimeters. So we are asking how many strings of 2.5 centimeters can be produced from this. I think that is clear that you have to divide. You have to divide. And when you divide, you get 84, and you divide by 2.5, which is this, to get how many? So 2.5, I convert it to an improper fraction. I get 5 out of 2. So I'll get 84. When I'm dividing, of course, I'll have to multiply by the reciprocal. We agreed on that. So when I multiply by 2 out of 5, you see these ones cannot cancel. So my answer is 168 out of 5. Now, when I divide 168 out of 5, I get 33 and 3 out of 5. 33 and the remainder is 3 out of 5. So this is what is remaining. But it is remaining out of what you are doing, what you are dividing. So we are saying 33 pieces can be cut. These are 33 pieces. with a remainder of, the remainder is 3 out of 5 of what I was dividing. So the remainder is 3 out of 5 of what I was dividing, which is 2 out of 2 whole number and a half. So it is 3 out of 5 times 5 out of 2, and the remainder is 3 out of 2. So that is example 2. If there is a question, I can take it. I guess no. Today I've given you very many examples.
Yes.
You have no question? You have a question?
No.
Okay. So let's look at this one, number 3. This is what you do every day at home with your parents. So it should not confuse you. Let's say your parent has given, let's say this is your grandfather, and he has given your grandmother half of his wealth. Yeah? Then 1/5 to each of his 2 sons. He has 2 sons, and each one of them gets 1 out of 5. Each one of them gets 1 out of 5. He has 2 sons, and each one of them gets 1 out of 5. 1/5 of each of the 2 sons, and the rest, what remains, goes to the daughter. So first understand this. A man has given a half of his wealth to the wife. Then he has 2 sons. Each of the 2 sons gets 1 out of 5 of the wealth, and the rest goes to the daughter. The question is, find the fraction given to the daughter. I think, like I have been telling you, you agree with me that the total fraction is 1. So if the total fraction is 1, it means to get what the daughter will remain with. Yes, Achora. Faith. I see your hand up. Oh, it is by accident. I think Achora is just playing with the phone. Let us ignore her and continue. So I was telling you the total fraction is 1. So the total fraction of the wealth of the parent is 1. So wife takes a half, then he has 2 sons, each one of them takes 1 out of 5. So if each one of them takes 1 out of 5, and they are 2, it means the total of what they get. Let's add the fraction of the wife, the fraction of the 2 sons, where each one of them takes 1 out of 5. We get a half plus 1 out of 5 plus 1 out of 5. Note that if you don't put this bracket, you are going to fail. Should I mute your phone, please? If you don't put this bracket, you are going to fail. So the whole fraction is 1. So we shall get 1. We subtract the total of what the other ones have gotten. A half is for the wife, then the 2 sons are getting 1 out of 5 each. The LCM, you agree with me that it is 10. The LCM is 10. And if it is 10, 10 divided by 2, the answer is 5, times 1, it is 5. 10 divided by 5, the answer is 2, times 1, it is still 2. 10 divided by 5, the answer is 2, times 1, it still remains 2. So total, I'm having 9 out of 10. So I'm going to have my total fraction, which is 1. Then I subtract the weight that was given out. That is 9 out of 10 fraction. And I remain with 1 out of 10. The LCM here is 10. 10 divided by 1, it is 10 times 1, it is 10 minus 9. Like that. So that means the daughter went away with 1 out of 10. Part 2. We find the man's wealth if each son received 16,000. If each of the sons received 16,000. So we don't know the total amount of money he had, but we can say let the total wealth be Y. I think this is a mistake. I'm using a wrong fraction. This is supposed to be, because the fraction of the son, if each son received shillings 16,000, each of the sons. So the fraction of one son is 1 out of 5. So this one is supposed to be 1 out of 5. We are going to correct that. 1 out of 5 times y, it is 16,000. And y is equal to, this is supposed to be 5 times 5, then times 5 this side. Y is supposed to be 16,000 times 5. And the answer there will be 80,000, not 160,000.
80,000.
Yes. Do you realize that this is a mistake? This one was meant to find out if you'll be following, but since no one saw it,
Yes.
since no one of you saw it, it means you are not following closely. But this is supposed to be 1 out of 5. I keep on putting those mistakes to make you alert. They don't let a mistake go. So this is 1 out of 5. And the final answer should be 80. Should be 80,000, okay? So that has been the last example. I will now allow any question if it is there as we proceed to do the work. Today I have given you how many numbers? This one, part B, then 1, 2. I think the work is very simple. I want a question. If it is not there, you thank me and we end. I think
Thank you, teacher, for teaching us.
Thank you, teacher, for teaching us. Your service and
okay, I wish you a good day. I wish you a good day. Bye. Greet for me your parents. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.